So now I have a decision to make. How are we going to do the cord? And on this one, we've got the cord over here on the right hand side. We've got the plug down here on the right hand side. That's pretty good, huh? But what are we going to do with all that extra cord? If I plug it in, you could leave it hanging. You could take your wire ties and fold it all up there and have it hanging. But I'm going to take a look at this trim first off. Okay, here's my cover on this, and I see on the side, this is the right hand side, okay, it goes up just like that, and here's a notch here. I look on the bottom and there's a notch there. My experience has been I don't like using the bottom notch though, because the cord sometimes it's pushed in so tight that it wants to kind of pop this off. It gives too much friction on here. Okay, now I look at this, no notch here, no notch there. Okay, so it tells me I got to use this notch, but guess what? I've got the other air conditioner in the other room. Let's see how that's set up, shall we? Let's just check that out real quick. Okay, see how the cord's coming out the right again. Here there's a 4-hour timer here, and that's pretty good for an air conditioner in a vacation condo rental. The 4-hour timer, you have to turn that on in order to turn the air conditioner on. So if somebody goes down to the pool, they go down to the ocean, the beach for the day, they don't have the air conditioner, your air conditioner cranking, you know, the entire time you're away, and your electricity bill skyrockets. Well, here if they turn it to 1 hour before they leave, great. It's only going to stay on an hour, then it's going to click off. Or if they crank it all the way up to 4 hours, even if they leave in a half hour, at least you've got the comfort of knowing the air conditioner is going to go off in 4 hours. Okay, now this cord is over here, but the plug is over here. How are we going to do that? I've seen guys run it out the side or the bottom, run it across here, tie it all up and all that. I'm not going to do that. That's hokey. I like to do things a little bit better than that. And here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to take this, and you got to look at yours, because yours might be different. Okay, remember we saw the notches here? Well, I want the cord to come out this left-hand side, but there's no notch, is there? I'm going to make my own. Is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to measure up, and how wide that is, measure across there, transfer the lines over there, and I'm going to cut that out. And that's for that other one. And all I'm simply going to do is I'm going to use my dikes, my electrical cutters. I'm going to use a pair of pliers, and I might use my little wood rasp. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to make a notch that's going to look professional. Plus that notch is going to be right up against the wall. Doesn't even matter exactly how big I make that notch, because over there on the other side it's up against the wall, right? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with that. All right, let's get back to our project in hand over here. What's the next step, Joe? Now here's something else I have to do. If you're just plugging this in, you may have to press the reset button on here. You'll see a green light, but the reason why we don't see a green light, I can push this all day long, nothing's going to happen. You know why? Because this air conditioner has a 4-hour timer, so I have to turn it where it says turn past. I have to turn it at least beyond a half hour, and it's going to click on. Okay, now I just heard the air conditioner click, and see, now I've got the green light. If I want to turn that off, I press that, that's the reset or a test button, and then here's your reset button. Now sometimes if your air conditioner goes off, you think, hey, how come nothing's working? Maybe for some reason it tripped off accidentally, and you have to check that. Okay, so now it's on. If I wanted to turn it on with my finger, I would press power, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do it with my little handheld remote goodie. And incidentally, this up here, this right here, sometimes it might be hanging down, and I look at that and it looks fine. You can sometimes push this up with your hand, because remember that's kind of floppy. See, I can just push it a little and it moves. So if this is kind of cockeyed, you can take your hand and just push it up with 2 fingers or whatever. Okay, mine's looking pretty good there. Okay, so now I have not turned this on yet. You are going to see what I see. Okay, it's on. 3, 2, 1. Kaboom. It's on. Holding my breath to make sure it turns on and it works properly. Now see, it says 60. Usually they set it at that factory for some reason, and I can adjust it, and there it went on. You heard that lower noise, that was the compressor that kicked on. And right now it's in energy saving mode. That's the orange. See, right there. Now if I take this and press mode, I've got cool. I could have it at cool, or if I put it on energy saver, then it goes on and off a little bit more. I press this, now that goes to just fan. If you want to use it as a fan, and I got a fan speed right here, so F3 is high. If I go F1, the fan will kick down. So hear it how it kicked down? That's low, that's medium, and that's high. I usually keep it on high. I can press the mode again. Dry, I have no idea really what dry is. I don't use that. You can also have a timer. You can press timer, and it's 1 hour. In 1 hour, it's going to go off. But you try telling people that, and they don't do it. Okay, so now 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. It goes to this one. They used to go to 12 hours. This one I think goes to 24. Now I'm going to hit it again. It goes back to 0 to get that off. Okay. And then this one has a red light that comes on when you need to clean the filter. That's kind of slick. Okay, so I want it on cool, and I normally set this at 72 degrees or so. Let the guests check it however they want. Make sure it's on fan 3, fan speed high, and you can adjust everything right here too if you don't have the remote, or if your remote stops working, maybe it's just the battery, you know. Okay, so before I call this good, man, I'm happy about it, but I'm gonna check. I want to make sure these flappers, remember those little fins back there, those 3 fins here, 3 fins here, the room kind of comes out this way, so I can turn this so that this is kind of angled a little bit. But if somebody pushes these tight, you're not having as much air come out of here. Or if you have them angled against the wall, you know. So I angle it here, and this thing here can twist. Okay, right now I've got it facing kind of up. You can take this and tilt it down if you want, you know. But I like the idea of it going up. You want your cool air going up high and dropping down into the room. Okay. And one more thing we have to do, you remember? It's the washable filter on this one. I've got to put that back in. And so you can have these out. You're just going to flex this, and it slides right down into, it's a groove there. You can push these in and they snap, but then lots of times people don't know how to pull this cover off, and they start jerking on it and stuff. So I just grab it with my fingertip, and I can just leave it set and not snap it in. Sometimes maybe you try to snap it in, one side snaps, the other doesn't, or it's down too high and you can't reach it, and it's easier for you to just lift it like that and lift it up. Take that to the sink and wash it out with some all-purpose cleaner and a brush or something. Okay? Now, am I done with this unit? No, I'm not. There's one more thing I need to do. Do you know what it is?